Hey everybody, welcome to Advanced Shouting alongside Dan Petru and Zach Fogelman. I'm Noel Fogelman. We'll be joined in a little while. Jackie Spiegel. We're going to have our rubber match for our trivia competition over the last 2 weeks. We're all tied at one. Michael Bartan still MIA. I think we have an update. I think he actually closed on his house or accepted an offer. I don't know. We'll hear from him soon. Or maybe he's, on a mission with Sydney Bristow. We'll find out. All right, but the trade deadline is Monday, NHL, but moves are happening as we speak. It happened about an hour ago. The Islanders made a big move, acquiring Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac from the Devils. Lou knows Zajac well. He also knows Palmieri a little bit, but big move for the Islanders, guys.
Yeah, this shows the Islanders desperately needed scoring, especially with Anders Lee going down, and they probably needed it before then. I wouldn't say desperate, but they just needed more scoring because this team is elite defensively, top 5 in the league. But now you add this to the mix, and their offense has been better this year, but you're adding a guy who can absolutely score goals in Kyle Palmieri. Doesn't matter where he plays in the lineup. We're not sure about the lines yet. He's got a really big shot. I expect to see him on the power play as well with Barzal probably feeding him hopefully for some one-timers. So I really like this move, and I like the move of Zajac too. It provides just a reliable depth in the bottom 6. He can play center. He can play wing. He's still producing offensively at a half a point a game clip. So and they gave up a first-round pick, which will be in the late 20s, 2 guys who will never play in the NHL, and a conditional pick, which will either be a 3rd or a 4th round based on how the Islanders do this year. It's a pretty good deal for the Devils for 2 guys they weren't going to re-sign, and it just shows that the Islanders are all in a very, very competitive division.
Yeah, I love the trade. I wanted Palmieri last year when Pajot came over, and I was really hoping for one of Palmieri, Taylor Hall, or Rickard Rakell this year, and they got one of them, and I love the move. Zajac gives you a veteran who's seen the league well, been to a Stanley Cup final, knows what it takes to get to a final. Like what Dan said, it gives you depth down on the 3rd, maybe 4th line, but probably 3rd line. Palmieri, slide him right in with Barzal and Eberle to fulfill Lee's spot for the rest of the year. What they gave up was nothing really great. I mean, Mason Jobson and Bridgeport, nothing really special. The 4th round pick could become a 3rd. I saw if the Islanders make the Cup final, I think either this year or next year. But other than that, I love the Palmieri pickup. I am 100% for it. Great pickup for the rest of the year and a very, very competitive Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I'm all in right now. I don't need to worry about draft picks anymore. They traded the first last year. It worked out well. They immediately signed Pajot to a 6-year deal. This year, I'm not sure whether or not they'll be able to sign Palmieri. That's a move we'll worry about in the offseason. This is right now. The Islanders have never been in a better position since the Cup era. This is the time that they've had the experience. They know how to get to the conference finals. They're all battle tested. They have the best coach in the sport. Lou, we all know what Lou can do. And Travis Zajac had a no trade clause. He waived it to come to the Islanders. Who was the last player to waive a no trade clause to come to the Islanders?
Andy Green.
There you go, Andy Green.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Lou Lamoriello.
Sure.
So it worked out. But before I got corrected by Dan, who was before Andy Green? Who was the last player? You can't really think of one. Because they're always on the top of the list.
Probably before I was born.
Yeah, probably before I was born. Which
I don't think in the league then?
I don't think there were no trade clause back then.
Or were they even in the league then?
Yes, for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Devils retained half of both their salaries, so the Islanders still have about just over $3 million to make moves, and they can still make a move, get another depth defenseman, or dare I say, try to get Taylor Hall. But before you guys talk about that, let's bring in Jackie Spiegel from the Sporting News Canada. Hey, Jackie, how are you?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. So what do you think of the move?
I like it. I think Tom Fitzgerald went out and got some really high, really quality picks. Obviously, a first rounder in a draft that is maybe not what last year's was, but it's still a good draft. And I think he could even use that to turn it around, let's say, to get somebody else, right? Because there's a bunch of teams that are wanting number 1 picks or first rounder picks in this upcoming draft for guys. I doubt he'll go back for Taylor Hall, but obviously, as you know, Taylor Hall, like they're supposedly the Sabres have wanted a first round pick for Taylor Hall. So I I like it though. I think it's really good for the Islanders. They needed two guys like that, and I think part of what kept what allowed Travis Zajac to make the move was he's not moving.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, Jersey to Long Island is really not that far of a drive. I mean, sometimes traffic, let's be honest, is not great. But in theory, like, it's really not a bad move for him. And if there was any team he probably could have been traded to, this was one of two, right? Figure the Rangers would be the other one just because of location. But again, you get a solid two-way player. You get Palmieri, who's a number one line guy. It gives Barry Trotz more offensive weapons, which is something the Islanders have always needed. So it's a good move for them. And like I said, I do like what Tom Fitzgerald did last year when he was the interim GM for the Devils at the trade deadline, making those moves. And I think this is a good one for him as well.
Jackie, what do you think this does for the market now as we get close to the trade deadline, less than a week away?
It's an interesting move because when you look at it, the two guys that they got are definitely minor leaguers. I don't know what their NHL potential really is at this point.
Nothing. They don't have any. They don't have NHL potential.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the next deal is. There's obviously been a lot of talk about Taylor Hall. Obviously, I would say he's 100% guaranteed to be moved out of Buffalo. There's a lot of talk about what are the Maple Leafs going to do? What's the Freddie Anderson situation? But obviously, they're very comfortable with Jack Campbell in net right now. There's been a lot of talks regarding some of the Calgary Flames fourth line guys and Sam Bennett and Derek Ryan. And obviously their number two goalie, David Riddick, may be on the move as well. Jonathan Quick has been named as somebody who could be moving. So I think what we might be seeing, though, what I always find interesting about deals like this is that they're in division regardless of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, regardless, this year is crazy, but they're going to be playing against each other next year. And I always find it fascinating the fact that these guys make moves into interdivisional, which I don't know about. Well, for us old people on ball, that was a big no-no when we were growing up. You did not trade in your division. Yeah. So I find it very interesting. But I was just on the call with Tom Fitzgerald, the Devils GM, and he talked about how he has a lot of respect for Lou Lamoriello. They obviously know each other from their Providence days, so they have a long history. And he knows that they're not going to fleece each other, basically. But what's going to happen now? It'll be interesting because there's always been a lot of talk about nothing's going to happen. But
and I also like how it seemed like the Islanders got in front of this too. You don't have to worry until Monday. If nothing else happens, they're one of the competitors in the Eastern Conference and they got out in front of it.
Yeah, they definitely did. I mean, I actually put out, I wrote it last night and it went out this morning of Taylor Hall locations, like where he could potentially land, and Islanders were on the list, and they would have been number one if I ranked it. Obviously, I think this takes them out of the running for that because they did trade away that number one pick. So, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe it'll be more of this like close location type of thing, right? Like teams that are within the same division now, that are within short travel distance. Obviously, the United States has a much different quarantine rule than Canada, and it's actually state by state.
Right.
So, obviously, Travis Zajac and Kyle Palmieri won't have to quarantine to go to Connecticut because it's tri-state. And I also think in general, like New York, at least, because I live in New York, I know New York very well, what the rules are. You don't have to quarantine really anymore when you're traveling domestically. So it could be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, in Canada, that's not the case, especially going across the border. But even provincely, I think that's the right word. There are restrictions and there are rules regarding quarantine. So even like Travis Boyd, who just got picked up by the Canucks, went into quarantine, and then, as we all know, now he's in, unfortunately, quarantine again. But he had to go through quarantine when he got picked up off waivers.
Now, another interesting situation is the Edmonton Oilers goaltending. Yes, they have two of the top three players in the league. Their defense has actually been pretty good this year with Tyson Barrie leading the charge with Darnell Nurse. But Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen, is that going to lead them deep into the Western Conference playoffs? I don't really think so. Do you think they're going to see Edmonton make a move for a goaltender?
I don't, actually. And the reason I say that is because I've actually watched pretty much every Oilers game this season, and I was one of those skeptics going into the season regarding Mike Smith. I will never be a skeptic regarding Mike Smith anymore. Mike Smith is having a fantastic year. And I will say it doesn't hurt when you have Darnell Nurse and Tyson Barrie having the years they're having in front of him. Ethan Bear's played very well. Maybe they could use some defensive depth, and that will help. But I have to be honest, I've been kind of liking what Mike Smith has been doing. The question is, I do think it helps him compared to previous years, the fact that this is a very short season, that he won't be playing as many games potentially, right? I mean, Koskinen's played today. So they might be putting Koskinen in a little bit more as the season wears down just to give Mike Smith a little bit more rest. But I don't know. He's having a great year. I can't argue with that.
Okay, so Jackie, I'm going to ask you like a rapid fire question. So I'm going to ask you a question. I don't want you to think. I just want you to. It's yes or no. I just want you to answer immediately from your gut without thinking. Okay.
All right.
Can the Oilers win a Stanley Cup with Mike Smith?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yes or no?
I want to say no, but I don't know. I don't know. He's having such a great year, and when you have guys like McDavid and Draisaitl that can just and RNH is having a great year, and you have guys. I mean,
but you can't outscore your problems in the playoffs.
All right, Dan, I go. Jackie, same thing. Can the Oilers make it to the conference finals for Mike Smith?
That I say yes.
Yes, I do too. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
I do think that's the case. And in all honesty, depending on who they play, they could potentially. I mean, we don't know which divisions are matching up, right? So they could.
Yeah.
Like in all honesty, like play the Islanders.
Yeah, they could.
No, I could easily beat them. I have to be honest, just because of the firepower that the Oilers have. And the defensive game that I've seen this year. I mean, this is a team that's really come together. I have to be honest. This was a team that I did not have in the playoffs at the beginning of the year, and that was because of Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen because of their situation. My thoughts have changed. Got to be honest. I had the
okay, Jackie's on board. We're gonna hold. Okay, Jackie's on board. She's covering Western Canada, so she's seen a lot more than we have. Although I've seen quite a bit, and like I said, I just don't think you can outscore your problems in the playoffs. I still think they can get to the conference finals. I just don't know what happens when they go up against the big boys, the Vegas, Colorado, Washington. Well, the way Pittsburgh's playing, who knows? The Islanders, if the Bruins are there, Tampa. I just don't.
I don't think the Bruins will be there. Sorry.
Yeah, they probably won't be.
I don't think the Bruins will be there. I actually didn't have the Bruins in the playoffs, I think, to begin with for the season. But I don't think the Bruins have what they – unless they go out and get Taylor Hall. Although I'm not a huge believer that he's really like a game changer, if that makes sense. But I do think it'll be interesting. I mean, look, I've seen the Oilers shut down completely and not play well against the Maple Leafs.
Right.
Didn't they just get shut out like in 2 games or something like that? Like I can't remember what it was, but like 2 weeks ago, it was not a good time in northern Alberta. But I mean, who knows? Let's see what Ken Holland does. I think he's fully aware of what this team needs. And let's be honest, Ken Holland knows what a team needs to win a Stanley Cup because he's got quite a few of them.
All right, Jackie, I want to go a little bit east in Canada right now. Toronto. What would this year you consider a success for them? Stanley Cup. Making it or winning it? Stanley Cup? Okay.
Winning it.
Okay.
Getting out of the first round wouldn't help?
Yeah.
Getting out of the first round?
Just getting out of the first round, I would say, is just a big step for them. And not playing Boston. And because they can't. So that's good.
I mean, the way this team talks, it's a Stanley Cup or nothing.
I mean, that defense really elite? Besides Morgan Riley, is anyone on that defense really good? Not really.
I mean, they've had good seasons. I mean, Justin Hall has had a really good year. Jake Muzzin. I mean, Jake Muzzin's a Stanley Cup champ. Like, he knows what it takes to win. Like, he's he's not a flashy defenseman, and I think people forget that sometimes. Like, he is a stay-at-home defenseman who's
They
a
also,
tough.
they also traded one of their best players for 1 year of Tyson Berry.
Yeah, but Tyson Berry did not work out in Toronto, so but I do think Kyle Dubas is not afraid to make moves right now.
Courtney has a great question here. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But this is a really good question. I have no idea what my Preds are going to do before Monday. A lot has changed over the last month. They could be a team that completely dictates deadline day. If they do not sell, there might not be a lot out there. But if they decide to be sellers, that could change everything because they have some guys that will be highly sought after.
I could see that.
Go ahead, Zach.
I'm making a basketball reference. I can see them be the Orlando Magic of the trade deadline this year, just selling all their best players. Not the Yossi's, but I could see them dealing out the Philip Forsbergs or the Victor Arvidssons. It's unlikely, but that Ryan Ellis would get traded. But I would not be shocked if he was to get moved. But I would not be surprised whatsoever if Victor Arvidsson or Philip Forsberg are not on the Nashville Predators come Monday at 3 p.m.
I mean, because they'll more than likely make the playoffs, but they'll probably end up just getting swept by whoever's going to win that division. So is it a successful season just to make the playoffs? Should they just stand? I mean, it's like they're kind of in no man's land right now.
A successful season for them is probably getting to the Western Conference Finals.
Right, just not making the playoffs. And I don't think they're going to go on some kind of magical run this year.
No.
Right. What's the bottom line for that team? I mean, at some point, that team's going to have to retool, rebuild. And it's Matthias Ekholm could get a king's ransom. Philip Forsberg could get a king's ransom if they decide to go that route. Even a guy like Arvidsson, who's under a manageable deal, you would get a lot of picks and you would get a lot of good young players, and you could start to retool this. And look, do you want to not sell and lose, like you said, lose in the first round? I think that's something you have to make. But I don't know. Maybe that's a decision for the end of the season.
And Rene's not what he once was.
Oh, no, everybody knows that. UC Saros is pretty much the number one goalie now.
And you don't have those 4 rock-solid defensemen that you used to have anymore.
Right. Here's the biggest issue, I think, in my opinion, regarding the trade deadline or two issues I have, or 3. Actually, let's go 3. One is a salary cap. Big issue, right? A lot of teams, when they made a lot of deals that they have under contract for next year and the year after, were made 2-3 years ago when this, whatever you want to call it, whatever this is, life that we're living now, was not expected to happen. So who knows what is going to happen with the salary cap. Then you have, obviously, like the quarantines and whatever. But my thing is also, I think a lot of teams are fixated on fixing things now, where my take, if you're a GM and your team isn't necessarily going anywhere this year, and it was a short year. The season's over in a month. I mean, usually when the trade deadline happens, you still have at least almost 2 months and you're not. That's like
6 weeks.
Yeah, it's a huge factor when you think about it, because like you get a new guy and they have to, let's say, especially in Canada, they have to quarantine for a week. How are they going to get really acclimated to a new team? But I
think if you see an American-Canadian trade between those American team and the Canadian team, it could be a move for next year. It might not be a deadline move.
That's my general philosophy. And I will say that I actually, in my Taylor Hall top 5 landing spots, I actually put the Calgary Flames. And the reason I put Calgary was for a number of reasons. One, he's a Calgary kid, right? He didn't spend his entire childhood in Calgary, but he was born and raised. He lived there for the first 12 or 13 years of his life. He grew up a Flames fan before he moved to Ontario. So he has a connection to the city. Secondly, and I think we said this last week or the one other time I was on, the Sabres need goaltending. And David Riddick is on the trade block. He's well known to be on the trade block. He is a goalie that needs playing time. And we all know the Sabres need goaltending.
Is he better than Olmark?
I think so. I don't think he had last year and the year before when he was kind of more the Calgary Flames' top goalie, didn't have good defense in front of him. So I think obviously that's a struggle in Buffalo, but I think he could be a good goalie for that team. And he definitely needs to get out of Calgary, in my opinion.
Right.
They also have number 1 picks the next 3 years. They also have a number of I think they picked up a conditional pick for James Neal trade. So they do have some of the things, and they do have some good kids in the pipeline that they may need to move out because of who's coming in terms of things, and because there might be a little bit of a backlog in their roster. Now, the big question also is a lot of reporters in Calgary are saying, well, this summer is when we'll see the big deal for Calgary. My take is Brad Treliving may not be there in the summer the way things are going.
Yeah.
Daryl Sutter has continuously said there's not enough firepower on this roster. This roster doesn't have enough NHL caliber players.
Wow.
I don't know. Does this mean Daryl Sutter is looking? Remember, he was the GM the last go around. So who knows? If I'm Brad Treliving, I may pull a trigger on a deal because I want to make sure that I'm showing that I want to be here for the long haul.
Right.
So it's Calgary's probably not going to happen, but it's not a bad take. We'll see. I mean, it's definitely interesting how everything will play out. I feel like always we sit here and go, well, this team doesn't have money, that team doesn't have money, blah, blah, blah. Yet they always make it work. As Tim Gunn says, make it work, right? So they always make it work in some way. So who knows? I mean, there's a lot of talk maybe Toronto might be putting Freddie Anderson on like long-term injury reserve. The man hasn't even skated in over a month. So, or a little under a month, but he hasn't played a game since like the middle of March. So who knows what the situation is with his injury? They're being a little cagey with responses in regards to that. So it's a very interesting dynamic. I'm intrigued. And I also hope things happen between now and Monday, so I'm not sitting there like literally dealing with like 30 trades like last year. So that'd be great.
Yeah. All right. So let's go from one trade to another right now. I'm wearing the jersey, so I might as well talk about my boy Sam Darnold. The Jets ruined another quarter.
Nice to have frivolous money to throw out the window.
Well, it was a couple years ago. It was fine. It's the old jersey because I wouldn't buy
okay.
terrible jersey they have now. But like I said, they win a Super Bowl. They can wear whatever they want. Rinse, repeat. That's typical Jets. We're going to start with a new quarterback now with likely Zach Wilson. I know Zach's a big fan of that. Traded Sam Darnold to the Panthers for 3 draft picks. New general manager, Joe Douglas came in, oversaw his first draft last year, got the number 2 pick this year, fell in love with Zach Wilson. He had a big year at BYU. They didn't play anybody. Had a big pro day. Of course, he's wearing shorts in a controlled environment. He'll be running for his life with Jets next year, so he won't be making those throws. I don't know, guys.
Can I start?
Zach raised his hand, so I think he should go first.
Zach, you go. I'll compose myself, and then I'll continue after.
There's 3 things that I'm looking at with this trade alone. One thing is Darnold now the starter in Carolina. I know he's only 23. He's younger than Joe Burrow, which I think is crazy. Yeah. He's already played 3 years. He's 23 years old. I don't really know. I'm sure he is, but is Carolina out of the quarterback market?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if they aren't, but they probably are.
No.
The Jets are more than likely to lock at Zach Wilson, but is this a repeat of Darnold? Everyone was hyped when they got Darnold. He was shocked that he didn't go 1 to Cleveland. Is this going to be the same for Zach Wilson? Fresh, young kid, so much talent and everything. Is he going to be forced out in 3 to 4 years? That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but the thing with the Jets, though, now with Joe Douglas, who seemed to have a pretty good draft last year, and for 10 years, the Jets didn't draft anything. That's why they haven't made the playoffs in 10 years, the longest current drought. They've traded all the number 1 picks. If you look, they traded Jamal Adams. They traded Leonard Williams. They traded all these guys, Darren Lee. They traded all these guys. None of them, half of them didn't, pan out. Some were okay. If they build around Zach Wilson with these draft picks, it's going to be a total rebuild right now. And I me being a long suffering Jeff, I'm okay with that. At least I know there's a plan going forward. Not like, okay, for 1 year we'll start a rookie, then we'll bring in an aging veteran quarterback and go for there. No, this time they're going to do it the right way. However, if Woody Johnson, who tends to want a marquee quarterback, falls in love with a veteran 2 years from now, Russell Wilson's still in Seattle wants to come over, and they just like stop this rebuild and just go, win now mode with half of competitive roster, it's going to reset again. Let's do it right this time. Jets have 21 draft picks in the next two drafts. They got plenty of time. Let's do this right. Finally, let's do this right. I think we got a good coach. GM seems to know what he's doing.
I think there's some good pieces in place too.
Yeah, a couple. There's they need a ton of help. There's so much.
The kid who was the rookie offensive lineman last year.
Mackay seems
he looks great when he's healthy. He looks great. I think Mims has a chance to be a star.
They drafted a good punter. Okay, but
I really like Mims. Mims reminds me of T.O. a lot.
Yeah, it's fine. I personally, I would have kept Darnold and drafted Penei Sewell. Build the offensive line. Just build it because you need a quarterback who can stand in the pocket for more than 1 second and running for his life. Sam Darnold moves. He was pretty mobile, but once you get hit, quarterbacks don't want to get hit.
It's fun. I like going back to the overall chart. I like it for both sides. I love the return that the Jets got for Darnold. Everyone was saying he was going to maybe fetch a second, if that, or a third or a fourth. They got 3 picks for him: a 2, 4, and 6. What Justin just said. He finally has good coaching and pieces around him for the first time. I would not be shocked if Darnold can maybe get like 3,000 yards and 25 touchdowns this year. More than likely, we know what the top 3 is this year with Lawrence at 1, Wilson at 2, and Mac Jones at 3, surprisingly. But what you said before, Dad, the Jets have so many draft picks, but knowing the Jets, typical Jets, they'll probably screw it up.
Yeah.
They did say, or Joe Douglas was kind of saying that if they didn't have the second pick this year, that they would have kept Darnold unless they had number 1, where it would have been Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think so.
You don't? Okay.
I think he was going. I think because GMs who come in and there's like a young guy, no matter what sport it is, since they're not their guy, they tend to trade them. It's in all sports. I had a general manager tell me that once. He's like, if I don't draft the guy, there's no personal connection. And if I think I can upgrade at that position, I'm going to do it. And that's exactly what Joe Douglas did. I mean, Sam Darnold's only 23. It's not like his career is over. He washed up. Now he has a ton of weapons now in college.
And Carolina has the 8th pick.
Exactly. They have Joe Brady, who's one of the best offensive coordinators in football.
Matt Rule,
the coach who wanted to come to the Jets, and he wanted to bring his own coaching staff. Jets didn't allow it. We saw what happened there with Adam Gase. So let's just hopefully the ship is righted with the Jets. That's a big if. So we'll see what happens. I don't expect a lot of wins next year, and I'm okay with that. I want this process. I want it done properly. I've seen 2 wins last year. I've seen a 1-15 season. I'm okay with losing as long as it comes winning in a couple years. I'm okay with that.
Now going back to your waiting, I know you don't like this, and I don't know how Dan, how you feel, or Jackie, how you feel about it. He doesn't like drafting running backs in the first round.
No, I don't.
Unless they're like a generational running back, like Saquon in 2018, or just like Todd Gurley in 2015. Unless they're like a huge big name, or Christian McCaffrey in 2018 or 17. Unless there's someone like that, then you don't take a running back. The Jets do have the 23rd overall pick from Seattle. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Najee Harris or Travis Etienne come off the board there. Because if you get Wilson at 2, get him your running back. I know, Dad, you like the duo that they have now, and maybe add like a 3rd or 4th round pick with P. Ryan and Tevin Coleman.
Right.
But
I'm on three also.
You have 2 good receivers right now with a number 1, depending on how you view Corey Davis. Tight end could still be an improvement. I mean, Chris Herndon. No one's going to be anything good about Chris Herndon, but you'll have your QB for the future. Hopefully your running back gets maybe draft an O-lineman. Maybe Rashawn Slater falls to 23. It's unlikely, but maybe he does. It'll be a long process for the Jets, but hopefully the Jets will make it work.
Yeah, at 23, it's best player available. There's so many needs. They have the 2nd pick in the 2nd round. If you want to even move up into the 1st round, they can package one of those guys. But there's so many needs on this team, and I'm okay with drafting best player available. So that's totally fine. But one time we got a question in the chat about thoughts of Deshaun Watson. He's in trouble. Nike,
I would prepare for him not to play football this year.
Exactly. He's got bigger issues. Nike just dropped his sponsorship.
So did Beats. Beats by Dre dropped him too.
Yeah, Beats also dropped him. He's got a lot of issues, and he deserved everything he gets if all the accusations are true. And if there's a lot of accusations, more than likely, some of them are definitely true. So
I thought he was going to Carolina. I really thought that Carolina was going to jump all over him, throw the house to get him. I thought that Carolina was going to get him, but obviously they got the next best available in Sam Darnold. But I saw they were high on Justin Fields, but I guess they want to keep that pick or trade it, so they got Darnold. But Watson's in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, he might be going to Carolina if Carolina has a penitentiary. So,
he shouldn't probably ever play in the NFL again.
Agreed. All right, so
he's a top 5 quarterback too. He just ruined it. His career is done after he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, and everything's just gone.
Yeah, you know what? It's like in the Texans who actually, screwed up royally by trading, obviously, DeAndre Hopkins and stuff like that. Thought they'd get a haul for Watson. They probably should have done it.
They should have done it earlier.
Yeah, just rid themselves of it. But now, what do they have? Tyrod Taylor next year?
You probably won't even have to pay him anything.
Yeah.
It's probably like a morality clause or something.
Yeah, his contract will probably avoided, right?
Avoided.
Exactly.
Will he get fined though? Can the Texans still fine him though, even if his contract is voided?
Right. Yeah.
But wouldn't you look back at how much money was guaranteed? Doesn't that affect the Texans? Do they still have to give him that guaranteed money?
If there's, like Jackie said,
it's a morality clause, I think, because of that.
They're probably not on the hook for it.
Yeah.
They don't probably pay him anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I'm not a football person, but I mean, is Mark Sanchez still the quarterback of the Jets? Not really sure, but
yeah. Yeah. Don't get me started on that because they totally ruined Mark Sanchez.
Okay, all right. No, enough Jets talk for the rest of the year.
Okay, and you're right. Innocent, until proven guilty, but not in this country anymore. That's once you're accused of something, you're automatically guilty. Which
I wouldn't say that. It's just there's 22 accusations.
You're right.
One accusation is 22 is okay. There's no problem there.
22 is a lot, but even one.
At least one went to the police, so it's not
I think it's up to 3 now.
Okay, yeah.
It's bad, but all right. So you ready, Jackie?
Ready. Can I just say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Of course.
I see everyone's kind of wearing green shirts. So just real quick, up in Canada today, it is Green Shirt Day, which is a really great cause that unfortunately came out of really bad circumstances. 3 years ago yesterday was the Humboldt bus crash where, number of players and staff members and coaches passed away in the bus crash. And today is Green Shirt Day, which is for organ donations and to be signed up to be an organ donor. I'm an organ donor. On my license, it has a little heart, which means, God forbid, if needed, someone can use my organs. I think it's a great cause. Logan Goulet was the player from Humboldt who told his parents, only a couple months prior, that he wanted to be an organ donor. And when he passed, they donated his organs and saved a lot of lives. So it's a really big day. It's in Canada, but I do think it's international cause, and it's a great cause.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is green. It looks really dark.
Yeah.
I swear it's green.
It's okay. Mine is really dark too, so it's all good.
Yeah. Zach had a lighter shade of green on earlier, but he spilled yogurt on it.
I got some yogurt on it, so I had to do a dressing or a locker room change real fast.
I think I do have a Jets shirt, so I should have worn that.
Yeah.
Oh no, you'd be better off not putting it on.
Yeah. I'm going to wear this one after tonight.
Okay. All right. So our categories tonight. This is the rubber match, since you've each both won one. Oh shit! I didn't come up with a tiebreaker. I hope it doesn't get to that. Okay. All right. So here's it. If it's tied, it's a tie. That's
rock, paper, scissors.
Lizard Spock.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're starting with double agents. Those are players who played for both the Rangers and the Islanders. Then we're doing NHL retired numbers. We're bringing that back. Sports year in review 2016. Rise and shine. Player's first name or last name is something you might consume at breakfast. And finally, check it out. Those are Czech-born hockey players. Okay, so Noel, you won last week, so Jackie, you can go first.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing real fast?
Yes, quickly.
The 2016 category was my idea.
Okay, great. You want a medal?
I do. I want to just to let you know that.
Okay, great.
I think we should only have things that are like 1990 something from now on because I swear that's like the only years I remember, the only decade. All right. Double agents for 2, please.
All right, double agents for 2. Okay. Hold on a second. I gotta get my scoreboard out here. All right, here we go. And Jay. All right. One of the more unappreciated defensemen of his era. This player posted 56 points in 78 games as an Islander. A few years later, he became a Ranger from 98 to 2000, though his numbers there were not nearly as good, 64 points in 155 games.
I love these points. Like, I'm going to know, like, oh, yes, this person had X amount of points. 98, he went to the Rangers?
Yep. Underappreciated defenseman of his era.
That means he was good?
Yeah, underappreciated.
He was an Islander in the 90s. Oh, man. My brain is not functioning.
I also stepped it up this week. It used to, you know what I said a few weeks ago? It's better when everyone gets it right. No, you guys are too smart. This is Revenge of Petru this week.
Fuck. Sorry. Am I allowed to curse on it?
Yes, you can say whatever you want. That's hilarious, by the way.
In the 90s. So,
would you like to hear the question one more time before I need an answer? Okay. One of the more underappreciated defensemen of his era. This player posted 56 points in 78 games as an Islander. A few years later, he became a Ranger from 98 to 2000, though his numbers weren't nearly as good. I won't bore you with the numbers.
I have no idea. This is really bad. I keep thinking, like, James Patrick.
I need an answer.
It's not Pat Flatley.
No, the correct answer is Matthew Schneider.
Oh, you should have said he was from Manhattan. He's a New York City kid. He's also the
Noel, you are up.
All right, I'll take double agents for 5.
Double agents for 5.
Uh-oh, that's a bartend move right there.
Wow. All right. Careful what you ask for.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This Canadian-born player scored 67 goals in 4 seasons with the Islanders, including 22 in his first season with the Isles in 1999. Towards the end of his career, he dressed with the Rangers for 19 games during the 06-07 season.
For 19 games.
I know.
Read again.
Okay. This Canadian-born player scored 67 goals in 4 seasons with the Islanders, including 22 in his first season with the Isles in 1999. Towards the end of his career, he dressed for the Rangers for 19 games during the 06-07 campaign.
22 goals. Shoot.
I need an answer.
I know you do. I'm gonna kick myself. Shit. What is it, Dan?
Nothing. You have no answer.
99. He had 22 goals.
Yep.
Wait, 98, 99, or 99, 2000.
98, 99.
He played 19 games. I mean, it doesn't even register. It's like nothing. It's like a blip.
98,
99. That was a shitty team.
Yes, it was a very shitty team.
22.
5 seconds.
5. I don't know. Who is it?
Brad Isbister.
Brad is.
I wouldn't even know. I don't even remember him being a Ranger.
I don't either. That's why I know it.
Good. That's why it's a 5-point question.
Wow.
Yep.
Good one.
Okay.
I'm
Jack,
scared.
you're up.
I'm scared.
How many goals did he have for the Rangers?
Say again?
Dan, how many goals did he have for the Rangers?
None.
That's why he played 16 times a game. All right.
I mean, where's like Ray Ferraro and
Exactly, yeah.
They're not here.
and Neely? Like, give me those guys. All right, I'm going to do double agents for 1.
Double agents for 1. All right.
Wow.
Okay. This Hall of Famer played 8 seasons for the Islanders and just 1 for the Ranger, scoring 1,013 points in just 865 games before his career was ended by concussions. He is widely viewed as the best athlete to have ever played for both teams.
So, first off, real quick, the guy who gave him his last concussion was Mike Keane, who I actually was a fan of as a kid and have his jersey. But I will Pat LaFontaine.
That is correct. Jackie's on the board with 1 point.
Yeah. And quick plug here. Dan and I did a Easter Epic because Easter was last week. The 30th anniversary of the Easter Epic game where the Islanders won in 4 overtimes against the Capitals. We did a retrospective show. We interviewed Pat LaFontaine. Check it out. It's on YouTube. Isles Buzz Easter Epic 30-year anniversary.
And also subscribe to this channel. Okay. You are up, Noel.
Okay, I will do year in review for 1.
All right. Getting on the board.
Trying.
That's my category.
Thanks, Zach.
No problem.
How many questions did you contribute to the category?
I gave all the topics.
Okay. Just curious. Okay. Despite completing just 13 of 23 attempts for 141 yards and a couple turnovers in the Super Bowl, this player led the Broncos to a 24-10 win and rode into the sunset in his final season.
Peyton Manning.
That is correct. We are tied at 1.
Yay.
Okay, so I have a quick question.
Yes.
So I only get to pick. It's 2 per.
2 per point value.
Whether I get the question right or wrong, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Where would you like to go?
I'll do check it out for 2.
Check it out for 2. Okay. This 3-time All-Star scored 375 goals in his 14-year NHL career. During the 02-03 season, he became the first Czech-born player ever to win the Rocket Richard Trophy when he led the league with 52 goals.
What year was the?
He won the Rocket Richard in 02-03.
Is that Yager? He had 52 with the Rangers because he broke Adam Graze's record, right?
Your final answer, Jaromir Jagr?
Why is my brain not functioning today? Yeah. I don't think was it 02-03? I don't remember, but yeah.
The correct answer is Milan Hajduk.
Yeah.
Milan
I need to put some liquor in my coffee.
No, you're up.
Speaking of rise and shine for 3.
Rise and shine for 3. All right. This former head coach for the Washington Capitals and Hall of Famer as of 2012 played 19 seasons in the NHL for 7 teams, including the Red Wings and Bruins. He is the only player in the NHL to center 3 50-goal scorers. He played in a total of 5 All-Star games and was a 6-time finalist for the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy. He also is the most points ever by a player that was not drafted.
Adam Oates.
Adam Oates is correct. Jackie, you're up.
I'll do NHL retired numbers for 3.
3.
Yeah.
All right. That would be Carolina Hurricanes, number 17.
Rod Brindamore.
That is correct. We are tied at 4.
All right. Double agents for 3.
Double agents for 3, Noel says.
Better get it right.
Originally a 3rd-round pick for the Edmonton Oilers, this defenseman helped the Islanders make the playoffs in 06-07. At his best, he recorded 48 points for the Rangers in 02-03 and 44 for the Islanders in 06-07.
All right. You want to read your mail first or not? You good?
I don't understand why it does this, but we're figuring it out right now.
Oh,
Okay.
you got
All right. So,
Story time.
okay. So check out. I interviewed this guy in the Lighthouse Look Back podcast. Tom
Okay.
Pody.
Tom Pody is correct. What the fuck?
I love reading the mail.
All right. Okay, so that is correct. That was a 3-point question for Noel. All right, you're up, Jackie.
check it out for 3.
Check it out for 3. All right. Okay. This D-man was the first ever Czech-born player to be drafted first overall at the 1992 entry draft. The three-time All-Star went on to play 1,395 games, spanning a career that lasted 20 years.
Say it again. It would help if you gave the teams. Jesus.
This D-man was the first ever Czech-born player to be drafted first overall by the Tampa Bay Lightning at the 1992 entry draft. The three-time All-Star went on to play almost 1,400 games, spanning a career that lasted 20 years. So there you go. You got the team.
Oh. Is it Roman Hammerlick?
That is correct.
Also a double agent.
Also a double agent, yes.
Also a double agent.
That was a 3-point question for Jackie.
Yeah.
Right.
Score now.
The score 7-7.
Ooh. Oh. All right. Let's see what we got here. I will take year in review for 2.
Year in review for 2, he says. All right. With Patriots fans dismissing the debacle away using the ideal gas law, this controversy came to an end after a year and a half with Tom Brady accepting a 4-game suspension from Commissioner Roger Goodell.
Deflategate?
Deflategate is correct.
That I would have gotten.
What's that?
I would have gotten that.
All right, you were up, Jackie.
Retired numbers. Actually, what was the last one I did? Check it out.
You did check it out for 3 was your last one.
I'll do check it out for 5.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Originally a 9th-round pick by the Montreal Canadiens, this 2-time All-Star is second all-time in wins by a Czech-born goalie with 300 and was claimed by the Predators in the 1998 expansion draft. You got 2 teams in that question.
Okay.
And a year.
I have an idea. Can you read it?
Originally a 9th-round pick by the fact that you even made the NHL, a 9th-round pick is amazing. But originally a 9th-round pick by the Canadiens, this 2-time All-Star is second all-time in wins by a Czech-born goalie with 300 and was claimed by the Predators in the 1998 expansion draft.
Okay, so obviously number 1 is Hasek.
That's correct.
Okay, so number 2. I want to say Roman Turk, but I don't know. I don't even know if he's a goalie. I can't remember.
Roman Turk is a Czech-born goalie, yes.
Can you read it one more time?
Originally a 9th-round pick by the Montreal Canadiens, this 2-time All-Star is second all-time by a Czech-born goalie with 300 and was claimed by the Predators in the 1998 expansion draft. Need an answer.
Doesn't mean he played.
He did play for the Predators.
Oh.
Oops. I wasn't supposed to say that.
I'm going to say Pecorine. I don't think that's right, though.
Unfortunately, Pecorine is Finnish. That is incorrect. The correct answer, Courtney got Tomas Vokoun.
Oh, damn it.
Was he in Pittsburgh?
No, yeah, he did play in Pittsburgh.
He was
yes.
in Pittsburgh, right? Yeah.
Yes.
He was the backup to Fleury in 2013.
That's correct. Yes. Noel, you're up.
I will take.
The comments. Damn it, Courtney.
Let's try year in review for 5.
Oh, there we go. I'd love to see it.
Zach, need your help here.
No.
I'm joking.
Nope.
Are you though?
Okay. 2016 marked the retirement of this Cubs catcher after 15 seasons in the MLB. He went out with a bang, hitting a home run in the final game of the 6th inning of Game 7 of the World Series, becoming the oldest player to homer in a World Series Game 7.
Whatever.
That's David Ross.
David Ross is correct.
That's an easy question. That should be like number 1. God damn. All right. I'll do NHL retired numbers for 5.
Oh, Jack A.
I'm not doing Rise and Shine. God forbid it's like Shane Bacon or something. I won't even know it.
Shane Bacon.
I like that. It's Bob Chicken Friend.
There we go. Okay, you ready?
No.
You're going to hate me when I... Senators number 4.
Oh, my God. Phillips.
Phillips. Yes, Chris Phillips is correct.
Good job.
Right?
Damn it! I thought that was so hard.
No, it was easy. I got that too.
Ah, you guys.
The number was retired within the last 3 years when I started working for Sporting News Canada. So
Nice job.
All right.
Scores 14-12. Unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately. So, all right. I'm gonna hopefully add a point to this. I'll check it out for 1.
Check it out for 1. All right. I will just add your point total here. This 3-time all. No, sorry, nope, that's not one. That's the one I just read. Okay. One of the all-time greats. He is the Czech all-time leader in every major scoring category. This 5-time Art Ross winner is second all-time in the NHL history in points with 921.
Can you repeat it?
Really?
No, I just want you to repeat it.
No, answer the question.
well, I have to go back to work.
Hey, Yager.
That's correct. Really?
I'm just being a jerk. Sorry.
No, you're good at it.
That's not really cool.
I know.
All right, Jackie, you're up.
I'll do retired numbers for 4.
Retired numbers for 4.
I'm green, right?
What's that?
I'm green.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. All right, you ready? Capitals number 5.
Oh, Rod Langway.
Correct.
I don't know if I was thinking Peter Bondra of this. He's a double digit.
He's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I was thinking 13, 12, yeah. I was like, no, he's a double digit.
And he might show up on the Slovak category in a couple of weeks.
Spoiler. Okay. I will do Rise and Shine for 2.
Rise and Shine for 2. All right. Rise and Shine for 2. All right, here we go. In his 17 seasons, this slugger is one of only 3 players in history to have played for all former and current New York-based MLB teams, the Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, and Giants. In this time, he racked up 4 World Series championships and 3 suspensions for substance abuse.
Darryl Strawberry.
That is correct.
It's not a breakfast.
Yeah.
Fruit.
Strawberries for breakfast. It's a fruit. Maybe you should try it.
I'm thinking like somebody with the last name like Benedict or something. Or eggs. Is there a guy named Egg?
Yeah.
No.
Ham?
All right, so what do I have left?
You have a 1 and a 4.
I will do double agents for 4.
All right. Double agents for 4. Also, I'm going to use this category a lot. And we're going to do like Yankees, Mets. We might do Giants, Jets. There's a lot you can do with double agents. Okay.
Football ain't my thing.
An explosive scoring threat in the blue line. This defenseman posted 52 and 57 points in his first 2 seasons with the Islanders after breaking into the league. He later became a Ranger in 2000, but he was a shell of his former self.
Okay, I have 2 options.
Okay.
Brian Berard and Brian McCabe.
Okay.
Brian McCabe. So I'm going to go Brian Berard.
And they're both wrong.
No.
Oh.
What do you mean, Dan?
I'm sorry. Because I want you to win. I don't want Noel to win.
Can I answer it?
Wait, but did you give the years?
I did, yeah. I did. The years were well, he played for the Rangers in 2000. I didn't give the years of when he was with the Islanders. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Why is every one of these guys first an Islander and then a Ranger?
That's usually how it starts. They by the time they get to the Rangers, they're already shot.
I'm really disappointed there's no Brian Trottier.
No, that's not going to happen. The correct answer is Vladimir Malakov.
Yeah. Who was part of the Matthew Schneider trade?
That's correct.
Good job, Dad.
Terrible trade.
No.
All right. So Jackie has a 1-pointer left, and Noel has 2 4s left.
Okay, so let's try year in review before.
You like my category?
I'll let you know after answers.
I feel like you gave me the answers in advance.
Yeah.
Winning the silver medal for best individual all-around, this Olympian served as captain of both the 2012 Fierce 5 and the 2016 Final 5 U.S. women's gymnastic teams. $9.56. We need an answer.
That means they got like 3 minutes. Okay. Sean Johnson.
Correct answer is Allie Reisman. Okay. Jackie with a 1-pointer.
What's the score?
You're
The
winning.
score is 17-16 Noel.
Ooh, okay.
Jackie has a 1-point question left. Noel has a 4-point question left.
Well,
Get the tiebreaker ready.
I'll take NHL retired numbers for 1 point, please.
All right. Montreal Canadiens, number 4.
Jean Beliveau.
That is correct. We are tied right now.
Oh.
Noel,
Twitter, I'm not checking numbers. Just
okay. Noel, this is for the win.
All right. Which category should I do here?
It's a big decision right here.
It is. All right. I'll do check it out for 4.
All right.
I'll get the tiebreaker ready.
Check it out for 4. Okay. Do you have a tiebreaker question, Zach?
No, but I can find something.
Find something that you would need a number for the answer, okay?
That I would need a number.
Yes, it needs to be something they can guess a number.
They can guess a number. All right.
Like most goals scored in an NHL game, something like that.
Oh, all right. Okay.
All right? Okay. But hurry up. You got like 10 seconds. All right. Although Noel might get this. This Czech-born star made his opponent see red as he is second all-time in goals, assists, and points and was a 2-time Stanley Cup winner and a 4-time All-Star.
You repeat again?
This Czech-born star made his opponent see red as he is second all-time in goals, assists, and points and was a 2-time Stanley Cup winner and a 4-time All-Star.
Patrick Elias.
For the win. Well done, Noel.
Thank you.
Boo.
I have a tiebreaker ready.
Nice.
What was the tiebreaker question?
What are the most assists in one NHL game?
Oh, that's good.
5
8.
more.
7?
It is 7. Do you want to get? There's 2 players. Do you want to guess who they are?
Daryl Sittler.
No.
Okay.
One of them should be obvious.
Wayne Gretzky.
That's one of them.
Okay. I don't know the other.
Oh wait, is Paul Coffey an answer in Rise and Shine?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll ask that question now.
The other one is Billy Taylor.
Okay.
Really, Taylor. Yeah, Paul Coffey was the 1-point question. We have a couple left here, so let's go quickly. All right, Rise and Shine, Zach.
Oh, no.
In 2002, this outfielder – this actually is for everyone. This outfielder began his MLB career with the Indians, went on to win the 2007 World Series with the Red Sox, and holds the A's record for most consecutive stolen bases without being caught. He became known by his childhood nickname coined by his sister, but in 2013, he made it official and legally changed his name. What is it, Zach?
I'm out.
Is it Coco Crisp?
It is Coco Crisp. Very good. All right, the 5-point question. You might get this one, Zach. After a single year with the USC Trojans, the team forfeited all of its wins that season, and this shooting guard lost his remainder of eligibility after it was ruled he received improper benefits. He was selected 3rd overall in the 2008 draft by the Timberwolves and went on to play for the Grizzlies, Mavericks, and Bucks before being dismissed in 2016 for violating the league's anti-drug program.
3rd pick in 08. I'm just trying to go off drafts.
I
Do
mean,
you know this? Do you know this, Noel?
yeah.
You do? Okay. Jackie, any hint? Any clue? No?
Probably not.
OJ Mayo.
It's O.J. Mayo.
Oh, I know the name. Yeah.
O.J. Mayo. And then finally, 2-pointer for retired numbers, Boston Bruins number 7.
Boston Bruins number 7.
Oh, sorry. I gotta go back to work.
I definitely know this. It's not Ray Bork, is it?
No, go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, it's Phil Esposito because
That's
Phil
right.
Esposito. Oy.
Ray Bork became 77 because he wore 7 and then they retired Phil Esposito's number and he famously took off his jersey, revealing 77 as his new number at the Garden.
Yep, that's right.
That's a nice throwback to the Espositos.
That's right.
Who also former Ranger. Let's just say that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Great job, everyone. I tried to make it a little tougher this week.
You did. Yeah, that was good. That was fun. Yeah, Jack, that was tough.
Good job, Noel.
Yeah.
I like the double agents category because you can just use that for team. Like you can do like Bruins, Canadians, just do teams that hate each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see some Oilers Flames in there.
Oilers, Flames, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's only like James Neal and Milan Lucic.
Milan Lucic
Oh, wait, and Cam Talbot and Mike Smith. That's it.
and Milan Lucic.
Yeah.
And Milan Lucic, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Jackie, thank you so much for carrying this show yet again.
Well,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll get from Bartan next week.
Well, he sent a letter.
Yeah.
So it just got here today. I did not have time to see if it was appropriate for air.
Yeah.
But we will decipher it. There might be some codes in there, and we will.
Like in
What's
the
that? It was delivered via Pony Express. It's an old timey letter.
makes sense for.
Dad, I gotta send my letter. Do you remember? Do you get it? Do you get it? I have to send my letter.
Oh yeah.
Bye, Jackie. I know you have other stuff you have to do.
Now.
Bye, Jackie.
Bye, Jackie. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Zach, hopefully your letter will arrive next week. I know.
Subscribe to the channel. Are you sending letters to Santa?
And the Tooth Fairy, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Exactly. Subscribe to the channel. Like Dan said, like us on Facebook, follow us on
Like us
Twitter.
in general.
Like us. We need the likes.
Oh, and the Masters this weekend. I didn't do golf this week. Masters this weekend. I love golf.
Yeah. I mean,
Actually, it says INBC golf. I got this from my job.
okay. All right. What time is Shooter McGavin teeing off?
He is going to be shooting probably wherever the leaders are. He's probably going to be one of the latest ones because he's always close to the lead, going for the gold jacket. I believe that belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
Exactly. We'll see you at the ninth tee at 9:00.
Thank God they never did a sequel to that.
I'm sure they're working on it. Trust me. They'll ruin that one. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate it.